Hi everyone. Let's take a look at the following limit. Find the limit of 1 divided by x as x is approaching to 0. Step number 1. Always remember when you're trying to find a limit, there's a left limit, there's a right limit, and if those limits equal, then there is an actual limit. So before we look at this exact limit, you want to start with the limit of 1 divided by x as x is approaching to 0 from the negative side. And again, what happens is if you plug in a number slightly smaller than 0. So again, for example, you could plug in negative 0.01. This equals to 1 divided by negative 0.01, which basically in the world of limits equals to negative infinity, or DNE, which means does not exist. And since the left limit does not exist, and I'll draw an arrow back to the original, therefore the actual limit of 1 divided by x as x is approaching to 0 does not exist. Now you can always draw a graph to verify this. So again, if you go back and you think about 1 divided by x, or y equal to 1 divided by x, the graph, roughly speaking, looks something like this. Don't forget the horizontal or vertical and the horizontal asymptotes. And you can tell, again, when you look at the left limit, let's go back to this color, as x is approaching to 0 from the negative side, this is going to go down, which means it doesn't exist. And anytime you get DNE, it just means the limit doesn't give you a numerical outcome. And since there's no left limit, you don't need to find the right limit. You can go straight to the final answer, which is the limit of 1 divided by x as x is approaching to 0 equals to DNE. I hope this makes sense.